It's fast, it's sleek, and it doesn't need to get close. Sceptile used its 105 special attack to blast threats from afar. Welcome to Built for Battle, where we take the mightiest builds, push Pokemon to their limits, and prove their place in competitive play. I'm just Weavile here to walk you through today's featured Pokemon. Today we're showcasing Sceptile, and this time we're trading swords for solar beams. With a special attacking Unburden set that drops its item, doubles its speed, and sets your opponent's game plan on fire. At the heart of this build is Leaf Storm, a devastating 130 base power stab move that shreds anything that doesn't resist it. Normally it comes with a harsh special attack drop, but not this time. With White Herb, Sceptile erases the drop the moment it happens, keeping its damage output sky high. Energy Ball provides consistency, a reliable grass stab for when Leaf Storm is too risky, or when White Herb has already been used. Then there's Tera Fire, and this is where the set gets dangerous. When you Tera into fire, not only do you gain resistance to ice and bug moves, but you also unlock a powerful fire type Tera Blast. That covers steel types like Goldengo, Corviknight, and Scizor that would otherwise wall your grass stab. And with Sceptile's speed doubled, even faster fire-weak Pokemon won't escape. The final move is Dragon Pulse, giving you clean neutral coverage against a huge portion of the metagame, including dragon types like Dragapult, Hydreigon, and Roaring Moon. It's a no-frills high utility option that ensures Sceptile can threaten just about everything once Unburden is active. The EV spread is simple but effective, max special attack and speed, with a modest nature. You're here to hit as hard as possible, and once Unburden kicks in, you outspeed just about everything in the tier anyway, even most Choice Scarf and Booster energy users. Put it all together, and you have one of the most unexpected and explosive sweepers in the game. One build, two battles, let's show what Sceptile can really do. Before we dive in, don't forget to check out the Pokemon Battle Hub Discord. It's completely free to join and packed with trainers ready to battle, test teams, and share ideas. So without further ado, let's get into the first battle. Alright, Jay has brought a pretty cool team with a Hisuian Samurott, the Goldengo, the Hitmontop, Ribombay is a cool one with the Sticky Web lead, the Raichu of course, and the Clodsire. So the Sticky Webs might actually activate our Unburden with the Sceptile thanks to White Herb, so I'm not... I'm a bit skeptical about that. I'm a bit skeptical about that. Anyway, if they lead off with Hisuian Samurott, I definitely want to lead off with Haxorus and just go for that first impression straight away. So they could lead with Ribombay, but if they do, we'll just switch into Lapras or Klefki and Flash Cannon it. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Jay. So they're going to lead off with Kisame, which is going to be the Samurott, which is great for us. I led off with the Haxorus, so hopefully they don't expect first impression and we can get the KO right away. They might be Focus Sash. If they are Focus Sash, so be it. We'll just get Stealth Rocks up later, or we'll just switch into our Great Tusk and go from there. So let's see how this plays out for us first and foremost. Let's go for that first impression. All right, we get that first impression, we get it off straight away, and down goes the Hisuian Samurott. Thank you, Lord. No spikes for my side of the team, which is fantastic. You gotta love it, but the only downside is we're choice banded. We gotta switch out now. In comes Breakdance, which is gonna be the Hitmontop, right? Yeah, it's gotta be the Hitmontop with a name like that. So they get the Intimidate off. Obviously, we gotta switch out here. There's no doubt in my mind. Not sure what they're gonna do here. To be honest with you, they might have Break for all I know. I could probably go Skeledirge just fine, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Skeledirge makes a lot of sense here. So we're going to withdraw Jawsome. We're going to go into our Skeledirge real quick. I guess a better play would have been going into Great Tusk here, get the Stealth Rocks up, and then switch into Skeledirge to spin block the Rapid Spin. But they actually withdraw him on top, so they were baiting us, I think. Maybe it's baiting us to go into Great Tusk, but they go into Blueberry, which is going to be the Clodsire. So this is a bit of a bad matchup for us, but we can Will-O-Wisp this thing, which is what I'm going to do. Lower the power of those potential Earthquakes, etc., and kind of go from there. All right, we go for that Will-O-Wisp. We do connect, which is nice. And that Clodsire is now burned, which is fantastic. So with Clodsire burned and out of the way on the physically offensive side, they're probably going to go for a Toxic, right? Earthquake. That's not going to do much damage now. Still did a lot of damage. Is that banded Clodsire by any chance? Because we're a Fizz Def Skeledirge and you're burned. That's got to be banded, right? It's got to be banded. So this is a great opportunity to go into Great Tusk. We need to set the Stealth Rocks up, which is going to be great for breaking that Ribombay Sash. And looking at this Clodsire, it's more of an offensive one, I think. All right, Mercury, come on back. Come on back. Let's go into Great Tusk and get them Stealth Rocks up. So Tuscany comes in like so nice and massive. They go for the Earthquake again. We should eat this, no problem. Yeah, we eat that like it's nothing. That's great. So, with the burn going into effect there, I'm leaning towards Stealth Rock. I'm definitely leaning towards Stealth Rocks, to be honest with you. They withdraw Blueberry, the Clodsire. What are they going to go into, though? That's the real question. They're going to go into Saffron, which is the Ribombay? It is the Ribombay. Okay, so Ribombay comes in now. We get the Stealth Rocks up, that's fine. So we've got a couple of options here. We could go for a Rapid Spin predicting the Sticky Webs, or we could just go straight into Skeledirge or Klefki. I'm leaning towards the Klefki option, to be honest with you. Get the light screen up and reflect, or we can Thunder Wave stuff. So I think I'm going to go Klefki now. It resists both moves. It doesn't really care if it gets Stun Spore because it's got Prankster anyway. So we withdraw a Great Tusk. They didn't withdraw themselves, otherwise they would have gone first. So they didn't double switch, which is great. Key to Win's going to come in now. Like I said, they probably go for a Sticky Webs. There's the Sticky Webs now. We can just Rapid Spin those away later, no problems, hopefully, against like the Hitmontop, for example. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go for a... Looking at their team, I think Light Screen is going to be the most important one, so I'm going to get the Light Screen up now. All right, they're going to withdraw Saffron. Fair enough. What are they going to go into, though? They're going to go into Richie Rich, which is going to be the Goldengo. We get that Light Screen up there. It's going to be really great for the, dealing with the Goldengo. So Light Screen comes through like so. We unfortunately can't Thunder Wave this thing because of the fact it's got that good as gold ability, stupid ability. I mean, it's cool actually. They have got the leftovers, which is good to know. Now, I'm not going to start my Reflect just yet. There's no real point. I'm better off just going for the switch. So I'm going to hard switch into Haxorus. Now that we've got the light screen up, I'm fully expecting a nasty plot here, or a Make It Rain, one of the two. So let's see what they actually go for here, because we obviously get outsped here. So I need to make sure that whatever they go for, I'm not too... weakened, because Haxorus is obviously an important part of this game. So we get the Mold Breaker, which doesn't really benefit us in any way. They go for that Thunder Wave, which is interesting. So are they a support Goldengo set? I'm thinking Recover, Thunder Wave, Make It Rain, and Shadow Ball, or Hex, potentially. So looking at their squad, I would say their best bet is going to be switching in that Ribombe once again. So I might go for an Iron Head, but do I make that play? Am I that guy? Do I make that play? Yeah, screw it. Earthquake will still do a lot of damage to the Ribombe anyway. Alright, they go for a Shadow Ball, which will do a decent chunk of damage to us. Not really. And we go for an Earthquake, which is going to take out that Goldengo, which is great. Oh, they lived! Abandoned Earthquake! Are they a Fizz Death Goldengo? That's so cool. That is so cool. So if we assume they're going to go for a Recover here, after they've seen the damage they did, we should definitely switch out here. And I'm leaning towards the... What am I leaning towards here? I want a Rapid Spin, but I need to get rid of the Goldengo. I think we just Earthquake again. There's no real reason not to. I can live and Make It Rain. They probably go for a Recover anyway. Alright, they withdraw the Goldengo. Are they going to go the Ribombe? Ribombe means... Ribombe, sorry, Ribombe. Breakdance comes in the Hitmontop, so that's fine. We can get a bit of chip damage off on that. Stones dig in, of course. They get the Intimidate off. They're not heavy duty boots, which is good to know. And then we go for an Earthquake, which is neutral, so it should still do a nice chunk of damage. It does. We just go straight into Skeledirge here and block that Rapid Spin real quick. They withdraw Breakdance. Okay, so they predict the Skeledirge switch, probably. And they're going to go into Enel, which is going to be the Raichu. It's a nice little One Piece reference right there. I like that. That's good. It's a good job we didn't go for another Earthquake there, but we did go for the Skeledirge switch, so we can weaken this Raichu a little bit, which is nice. Mercury's going to come in. And looking at their squad, I don't really see any problem with going for a Torch Song, so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. If we get the special attack boost and the Clod's Eye comes in and it's not unaware, then Hex will do a lot of damage, which would be great. But they're actually going to Terra. Are they going to be Terra Water here? That would be terrifying. That would be terrifying. Yep, so Terra Water Surf, and if the choice specs as well, that's even worse. Even worse. So let's see how this plays out for us. So they go for that nasty plot, so that's unfortunate. So it's not the end of the world though. That's the thing, because as long as we get a bit of damage here, we're all right. So I'm going to go for that Torch Song now. Bit of damage, nothing too drastic. We're unaware, so I'm not really bothered about the boost. So I'm going to go for another Torch Song, just get some damage off on this Raichu. All we need to do is bring Sceptile in. Sticky Webs activates our Unburden with the White Herb. There's the Surf. Not even a KO, which is fantastic. We get another Torch Song off at +1. And that's going to be some clutch damage right there. There we go. So we don't even need to go for a Leaf Storm to finish this thing off. We can just Energy Ball it with Sceptile, which is great. So Torch Song, you're going to have to come through again. They do go for a Surf. Obviously, it's a +2, but it doesn't really matter because Sceptile's going to come in, get its Unburden from the White Herb on the Sticky Webs, and then proceed to go through their team like it's nothing, which is great. So the light screen does wear off, which is unfortunate, but I'm pretty happy with this situation we're in with Sceptile right now. So Sceptile's going to come in, caught in the Sticky Webs, which is unfortunate, so you'd think. But that's going to pop our White Herb, which then activates our Unburden, doubling our speed. So now I just go for an energy ball. There's no need to Tera. They withdraw. Are they going to go Clodsire? Clodsire would make sense. Clodsire would make sense. Blueberry is the Clodsire, correct? Yeah, Clodsire comes in. We're going to get some Stealth Rock chip at least. Let's see how much damage this energy ball does. So energy ball comes through. Oh, the crit. The crit. That was dirty. That was dirty. I'm going to go for another energy ball. I think it'll KO from here, right? Should do. Yes. Yes. Sceptile supremacy. I love Sceptile so much. Everyone runs the Swords Dance Terra Flying Acrobatic set, and that's what I originally did, but then I decided to rebreed it with a modest nature and try the special set, and it's not let me down. I mean, it has, but only because I played it wrong. All right, Breakdance comes in, which is going to be the Hitmontop. Shouldn't have any problems dealing with this thing. Is more than likely going to go for like a, I don't know, a Mock Punch or something like that. So I'm going to go for that Tera Fire. No, wait. No, because either way we don't resist. So we may as well just go for an Energy Ball. Yeah, we'll save the Tera Blast for the Ribombe. So Energy Ball comes through. If they're Assault Vest, ooh, we might actually be all right here. Rapid Spin. Okay. Okay, I see you with a Rapid Spin. Getting rid of them Stealth Rocks so the Ribombe can live and attack. Gotcha. I see you. But I'm going to go for that Energy Ball anyway. Energy Ball comes through. We still outspeed thanks to that Unburden, out-trumping the Rapid Spin, which is great. Breakdance does go down. Ribombe is going to come in, and it's going to be able to stun Spore us. That's the only downside to this whole Ribombe thing. But they don't necessarily know that we are Tera Fire with Tera Blast. So I'm going to go for that Tera Fire, Tera Blast right now. They wouldn't stun Spore me here because obviously I'm a Grass type, right? So they probably go for a Moonblast. So I'm going to go for that Tera Blast Fire now, like so. And hopefully Sceptile can run through a bit here. That's what I want from this game. I want Sceptile to run through it. I want Sceptile to run through it. So let's see how this goes down. Let's see how this goes down. So Tera Blast is going to come through. It'll obviously take it down to its Sash at least. There we go. Tera Blast comes through. And they are sashed, which is good to know. Very good to know. What are they going to go for here? A Bug Buzz. Ah! Even better. We live those. We live those. They've got Goldengo left and a Raichu. I'm pretty happy with this outcome. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. Sceptile has done really good work here. So Sceptile comes through with another Tera Blast, which is fantastic. Saffron goes down. And we have Dragon Pulse for like Dragon types and stuff. You'll see that in the later game. But unfortunately, it's like we haven't had to use it this game, but it doesn't matter really. I mean, we're just demonstrating Sceptile's greatness right now. So Richie Rich comes in. Obviously, I'm going to go for a Tera Blast here. There's no real reason not to. So Tera Blast comes through. Sceptile's going to claim yet another soul in the Goldengo, which is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So with Richie down, Raichu's going to come in now. And obviously, Raichu, I would finish it with a bang and go for the Leaf Storm, but I really don't want it to miss because we're a Fire type right now. But screw it, I'm going to risk it anyway. Why not? Leaf Storm comes through, we don't miss, which is nice. And that is going to be the game. So GGJ, that was a really fun one. And Sceptile popped off, and that's the perfect first game for our Sceptile video. If you've made it to this point, you're a legend. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, Cody's brought a pretty cool team with a Grimmsnarl, the Dragapult, a big threat, obviously. Donphan's nice to see. The Porygon Zed's also interesting. Metagross could be a very offensive threat. I'm looking at, like, I'm thinking Weakness Policy with Agility or something, daft like that. Incineroar's usually Spadef, so I'm assuming it's Spadef and then Donphan being the defensive. But I guess we'll just have to find out. So, if they're likely to lead off with the Grimmsnarl, there's no point leading Klefki because they'll just outspeed us and go for a taunt. So maybe I want to lead off with Haxorus. Haxorus could be a good lead. Potentially. I can go for the Iron Head straight away, do some nice damage. It's a possibility, Klefki I could lead with it, and if they taunt, I just Flash Cannon. I might just lead with Klefki. I know I said I wasn't going to lead with it, but I'm just going to lead with it, screw it. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Cody. So they're going to lead off with Porygon the AVI, which is the Porygon Z. And it's nice and shiny. We lead off with Klefki, the key to win. And I'm just going to go for my light screen straight away because there's no way this thing's physical for a start. So I may as well get the light screen up now and then get the reflect up the next turn and then see if I can get a layer of spikes up. There we go. We go for a light screen, which is definitely going to help in the war against the special attackers on that team. Dragapult being one of them. They go for a nasty plot, which is kind of deadly. It's very deadly, actually. Really don't want them to be at +3, especially if they go for an agility. That's not going to be fun. So I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave real quick. I decided to get rid of the spike. I actually had spikes on this, but I got rid of it for Thunder Wave. And I really think this is a good idea, a good example of why Thunder Wave is so useful on the Clef Key. So they are paralyzed. They go for that T-Bolt +2. It's still going to do a bit of damage. Yep, they're a bit of damage, nothing too drastic. Now what I'm going to do is, because of Life Orb and they're going for a Thunderbolt here, I might just switch out. So what I'm thinking is we go into Haxorus. Seems like a good, reasonable switch. They could go for Ice Beam predicting this, but I don't think they will. To be honest with you. So I'm going to go in for the Haxorus. We resist Thunderbolt. There's a light screen up. They're paralyzed, so we definitely outspeed, which is great. So let's see how this plays out for us. Jawsome comes in. Looking amazing. It's Choice Banded. It's designed to just hit hard real quick, weaken things for Sceptile. So they did predict the switch and they go for an Ice Beam, which is unfortunately going to KO Haxorus here. That's a great predict by Cody right there. Really good predict by Cody. To be honest with you, I'm just glad I didn't lose Clef Key there. But what we can do now is we could bring Sceptile in easily and go for the Leaf Storm here. That's definitely a possibility. So I'm wondering whether to do that or not. I think I will just bring Sceptile in straight away. So Razor's going to come in now. And what I'm going to do is, because like there's nothing on their team really other than the Metagross that I can get the surprise factor on with the Terra Blast. They more than likely go into Incineroar here for a start. So I might just go for a Leaf Storm, but actually, no, because I can't risk the Incineroar coming in and intimidating me, because then it'll use up my White Herb. So I think what I'm going to do here is, because they're going to expect probably a Leaf Blade or something along those lines. So I'm just going to predict the Incineroar, and I'm going to go into my Great Tusk. I'm going to go into my Lapras. I think that's the best thing for me to do here. So we'll withdraw Razor, the Sceptile. Expecting the Incineroar to come in. I don't want it to use. I don't want my Unburden to activate against the Incineroar for sure. So the Porygon couldn't move because it was fully paralyzed. That's even better. But they were likely going to go for an Ice Beam there anyway, so it's kind of worked out for us, I guess. I guess I'll just go for a Surf here. Lapras is actually doing really well against their team with the Assault Vest, because I can literally take any hit from this thing. They go for probably an Adaptability Terra Blast. Still does a lot of damage because obviously it's Adaptability and despite the light screens up with our Assault Vest, but I'm happy with this outcome. So if I assume they're either going to switch out here or they're just going to let it go down. Surf is still my best option, so I'm going to go for it. There we go. Porygon Z, panic averted. It's gone. No need to worry. So with Porygon out of the way, we didn't have to reveal our Sceptile moveset either, which is great. So hopefully we can pull that off later. All right, Dragapult the Great comes in. That is a good switch, I guess. So if this thing's physical, it's going to really hurt us. So I'm going to have to switch into Klefki real quick. So yeah, Klefki's going to have to come in. I'm just hoping it's not a Choice Spec set with Shadow Ball. I don't think they would have brought it in if it was, though. They could go for a Dragon Dance here, but I don't think they would, because we can just Thunder Wave them real quick. They go for a Light Screen of their own, which is interesting, so that's kind of cool. They're a support Dragapult. I like support Dragapult. I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave here, just to paralyze the Dragapult, because there's nothing else that, there's no reason not to. They actually withdraw the Dragapult. They're more than likely actually going to go into Donphan, thinking about it. So Incineroar comes in. Incineroar is also, getting this thing paralyzed is going to be nice. It's nice and shiny as well, gotta love it. Intimidate comes through, which is fine. We go for that Thunder Wave. We do miss, unfortunately, because they are a Dark type. I just remembered that. And the light screen wears off. So we are Fizz Death, so I'm pretty confident that if I go for a Reflect here, I can live a Flare Blitz. So I'm going to go for that. May as well. It's not like the Dark typing prevents me from going for that. So that works out nicely. So they go for a nasty... They're a nasty plotting Incineroar. Interesting, very interesting. We definitely want that light screen up then. It's gonna be Lapras that handles this thing. Nasty Plot Incineroar, that's insane. I love it. So we go for a light screen just to nullify the power of its special attacking moves. He might have read this and gone for another Nasty Plot here, which they haven't. They've gone for a Flamethrower, which probably will take us out here. It does. So Klefki's out for the count, but it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world, because we can still go into our Lapras here and we should be able to do some stuff. Or we can go into a Great Tusk, but I think Lapras is better suited here. Purely for the fact that we have the Assault Vest and the light screen up. So I know we can take a Flamethrower, no problem here. So I'm going to go for that Surf now. And if we live with enough health, it might be worth Terra grounding. They're actually going to Terra. Okay, so if they're going to Terra here, what does that mean for us? What are they going to Terra into? Maybe Fairy? Yeah, Fairy Terra is interesting. So... this means they're going to have Terra Blast most likely, since they're especially offensive Incineroar. We go for that Surf. Let's see how much damage this does. Not a lot because of the light screen they got up. They go for another Nasty Plot. That is not good. That is not good right there. So he's definitely going to go for another one. I'm going to go for the Alluring Voice and confuse them. They actually go straight for a Dark Pulse, which isn't going to do nearly enough damage to KO us, but it does flinch us, unfortunately. They've seen the damage. They probably realize by now that they kind of need to get another Nasty Plot up, so I'm fully expecting the Nasty Plot. There it is! That's great, because this means that I can now confuse this thing with Alluring Voice. So Alluring Voice comes through, a little bit of damage, extra damage with a critical hit, and we get a confusion. Obviously, that's how the move works. So now that it's confused, we can play the risky game if you want to. They're going to go for a Dark Pulse more than likely. More than likely. And our best physical attacker is Great Tusk right now, because the Haxorus unfortunately went down early. I'm leaning towards going just straight for a Surf here. I think Surf works out really nicely for us, because they might get hit by confusion, they might not. They didn't. They're going to go for that Flamethrower, which is going to sting. It doesn't quite take us out. We do live, which is nice. Surf's going to come through, and that's going to do a bit more damage. And the idea here is to weaken this thing. Their light screen has wore off, so they weren't. They probably were a likely one, actually. Let's go for that Surf real quick. Surf comes through. We actually outspeed this turn, so I think we're at a speed tie. There we go. That's really nice for us. And if they get hit by confusion, Lapras lives to see another day. They didn't. They go for a Terra Blast now, which is going to take out Lapras, no doubt, because we have minimal HP left, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now, what do we do in this instance? Because here's the thing, right? Our light screen should wear off here, right? It didn't wear off. So I can go into Sceptile now and Energy Ball, or I can Leaf Storm and activate my Unburden. I think I'm going to go with the Sceptile play here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Energy Ball. I don't see any reason not to Energy Ball. Yeah, I'm going to Energy Ball right here. So Energy Ball comes through. That'll take out the Incineroar, which is great. And then we'll just have to see what they do. I'm assuming Dragapult's going to come in. I'm assuming. It's a big assumption right there. Dragapult's the main thing that's going to affect this whole game. But Reflect has wore off, though. All right, Dragapult the Great comes in. Like so. Nice and shiny, of course. If we expect a Dragon Darts here, we should definitely go into our Skeledirge. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I know Great Tusk would make more sense, but if they have got Draco Meteor, it'll definitely KO, or nearly KO Great Tusk to the point where it's like not worth it. So Skeledirge, if you're doing anything in this game, it's this, and I want you to get rid of that Dragapult for a start. So what have they got left that we can burn? So our Light Screen has wore off, and we could burn anything on the team really, and we'd benefit from it. So I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. All right, they go for a U-turn, which is fine. It's going to do no damage, obviously. We get a free burn on something, which is great. I'm hoping for the Grimmsnarl, because Grimmsnarl's like the second Pokemon that I thought I might struggle taking that thing down with Sceptile. But, you know, it is what it is. So Metagross is coming in, so I'm assuming this thing's going to be Lumberry or something, or they're just sacking, one of the two. Will-O-Wisp comes through, though. That's going to be great for us, burning this thing for sure. And then we can just go for a Hex, or we can stall out the Light Screen for a start. If we could do that, that'd be fantastic. So what I'm leaning towards here is just going straight for a Hex or a Torch Song. I think I'm going to go for the Torch Song option just to get my special attack up. So Torch Song comes through. Obviously, it's not doing much damage because they might be Assault Vest plus Light Screen. It looks like. They go for a knockoff, getting rid of our Heavy Duty Boots, but unfortunately, thanks to that burn, it ain't doing diddly squat to us, which is fantastic. And now that we're at +1 special attack, I feel pretty confident going for a Hex here, to be honest with you. Hex could work. I think Torch Song, actually. I'm going to get my special attack up a bit more. Alright, they withdraw the Metagross, which is fine. They're going to go into what, though? The Dragapult? Grimmsnarl comes in. So let's see what Grimmsnarl wants to do here. They're nice and shiny. Gotta love it. We go for that Torch Song real quick. There we go. And that does no damage, even at +1. But we're at +2 now, so I'm expecting it to do a bit more damage this next turn. So if we assume they're going to go for a Taunt here, we shouldn't go for a Will-O-Wisp. We should just go straight for the attack with a Torch Song, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I want to get rid of that Light Screen. If I can get this Grimmsnarl to the point where... Alright, so it didn't go for a Taunt. Interestingly enough. What did they go for here? A False Surrender? Spirit Break. Oh, they're trying to lower our special attack. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind that at all. And the reason I don't mind that is because all I have to do is go into Great Tusk here, get my Stealth Rocks up, and we're golden. Pretty much. I'm thinking of changing the Vacuum Wave on the Sceptile to Dragon Pulse. I feel like that would work out better, but they go for a Sucker Punch here, which wouldn't do too much damage to us anyway. But I actually decided to go for a Will-O-Wisp here, so this is great for us. We get the burn on the physically offensive Grimmsnarl, apparently, which is really interesting to see. Definitely interesting to see. And we get to go from there, kind of. So, I don't know. Let's see how this Grimmsnarl's got in store for us. I'm going to continue to go for my Torch Song, just to see if we can get more damage off on this Grimmsnarl, but also to stall out that light screen, pretty much, is what I'm going for here. So they go for a Spirit Break, which is going to do no damage, obviously, but it does lower our special attack. But luckily, because we're using Torch Song, we're kind of negating that effect, and we're just still at +1 or 2. I can't remember what we're at now. So we're definitely going to win this battle of attrition with the Grimmsnarl, especially considering the light screen will wear off this next turn. Torch Song comes through, which is awesome. And the Grimmsnarl doesn't go down, obviously, because of the light screen. But once that light screen's gone, I don't think there's anything they can do, really. So Spirit Break comes through. Not doing a lot of damage, obviously. Lowering our special attack, which we're obviously raising back up. I'm repeating myself, but it's a bit of a repetitive set of turns right now. But it is what it is. And there goes the light screen. So now our Skeledirge is cooking with gas. If we can outspeed here, which we should do, and go for that Torch Song, we'll at least get oh, wait, no, there's the Sucker Punch, which doesn't do much damage. It's still extra chip, though, so Torch Song comes through now. It's going to KO the Grimmsnarl, no doubt. Yep, there we go. And it's going to raise our special attack. We've got no Spirit Break to lower our special attack any further, so it's all up from here. It's all up from here. Skeledirge looking pretty good right now. All right, Dayaka comes in, which is going to be the Donphan. So the Donphan coming in is great for us. Let me tell you why. So the reason it's great for us is because, A, we can go for a Will-O-Wisp here. Break the Sturdy, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But also because this is perfect for our Sceptile to come in and do some stuff. So they're obviously going to get burned here, but the Earthquake will likely take us out if they go for Earthquake. And they did go for an Earthquake, which is probably going to take us out from here. Oh, we lived with a sliver of HP. But unfortunately, Ice Shard will take us out from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight for that Hex real quick, just to see if we can get the damage off. They might not even Ice Shard because they might not be confident it KOs, but they do. And Mercury does unfortunately go down here, but it's fine because you saw what happened. You saw it. You saw exactly what happened. Ice Shard took us out. Sceptile comes in. We're all set, ready to go. I mean, he's only got 3 Pokemon left, which is the Metagross, the Donphan, and the Dragapult. But I'm going to go for that Leaf Storm right now. I'm going to get the damage off real quick. That's going to definitely take out the Donphan in one shot. And it's going to activate our White Herb, so we now outspeed the Dragapult. And this is why I wanted to replace Vacuum Wave with Dragon Pulse. Because the Dragon Pulse will definitely come in clutch against the Dragapult here. Which, unfortunately, we can't do. Dragapult the Great comes in. Obviously, they're going to want to get that light screen up, which is perfectly fine. It makes sense. And what I'm going to do here is, because I don't need Unburden to win this game, all I need to do is go Great Tusk here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. They're probably going to go for a light screen here real quick, predicting themselves to live the Dragon Pulse, which we probably would have if we were normal people. And they do go for the light screen, obviously, which is set up for good now. Well, not for good, but it's unlikely we're going to get any further than that. So I'm going to go for a knockoff here just to get rid of their item. They go for a Reflect, though, which is going to be great for them. Them late game screens are always ready clutch. Knockoff comes through. We do get rid of whatever item they're holding, which is going to be the Light Clay. So the light screen's up for another little while, so that's unfortunate. I'm going to go for an Earthquake here just to get the max damage off as possible, because Knockoff's no longer doubled in power. Flamethrower comes through, doesn't do too much damage. We go for that Earthquake, and that should do a nice chunk. Yeah, nice chunk of damage. Let's go for another Earthquake. I'm still confident that Sceptile can win this game for us. So they go for a Flamethrower once again. And unfortunately, Earthquake isn't going to be able to KO here, I don't believe. No. So we do have to take another Flamethrower and risk getting burned, but there's the Flamethrower again, which is fine. No burn, no burn. Earthquake comes through, which is great. Dragapult goes down, which is fantastic. And unfortunately, because we don't have Dragon Pulse on the Sceptile, we aren't able to win the game with Sceptile necessarily. Well, we do win the game with Sceptile, I think, because the Metagross isn't going to be able to KO us. We can just go for a knockoff and get rid of whatever item it's holding, which could be I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been leftovers. I'm going to go for a knockoff anyway, just to get rid of that item. There we go. And I'm hoping they don't predict the Tera Fire. Oh, they're Assault Vest. Interesting. So that was right. They were Assault Vest. Psychic Fang's going through. Obviously, we've got Rocky Helmet, so that's going to do a bit of damage to them, which means now with a Terastallization Bang, we can finish the game with Sceptile with that Terra Blast Fire. Definitely putting Dragon Pulse on it, though, instead of Vacuum Wave. If I'm using Unburden, there's no point in a priority move anyway. I just put it on there because I thought it looked cool. So, Sceptile, you're going to come in now. And we're definitely going for that Terra Blast Fire, unfortunately for them. So, Bullet Punch isn't going to KO us for a start. It wouldn't anyway because of the burn. Earthquake shouldn't KO us, despite it being super effective because of the burn. So us Tera Fire, Tera Blasting here is going to be fantastic for us. So there's my little candle crown. Gotta love it. We go for that Tera Blast real quick. They probably will live this because of the light stream, but... Oh, no, never mind. They don't live that. Never mind. I thought live stream would make it live, but never mind. My damage calcs were off by a long shot. We got a crit anyway. Awesome. Anyway, GG Code, that was a pretty fun one. Sceptile actually got to do something, so this will make a great second battle, but just note that this battle we had Vacuum Wave, not Dragon Pulse. The first battle you saw in this video will have likely had Dragon Pulse. So, anyway, GG.